Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jim Shelton, representing the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on the proposed plan this evening. As you're aware, the Chamber has been involved in this process for the past year or more, working to try to improve the plan. But upon the Plan Commission's passage, we indicated our concern still with the plan calling for extensive revision in order to balance preservation of our unique environmental constraints with responsible growth that supports our economic vitality. Our major concern all along has been how this plan addresses or does not address business vitality and future job creation through proposed land use policies. While there is minimal language regarding job creation, the goal is to direct job growth to areas with existing and sufficient public facilities and infrastructure. We support this approach, as well as concentrating industrial and commercial development within existing brownfields when feasible. According to the plan's authors, growth will occur in the designated urbanizing areas, primarily the Bloomington urbanizing area, although also Harrodsburg, Smithville, Sanders, Steinsville, and of course Ellettsville. But as we heard earlier from Mr. Wilson, there is no plan for the BUA at the moment. You're going to create one sometime in the next 18 months to 2 years, but right now there isn't one. When our policy statement came out saying that we didn't think it was balanced, one of the plan commissioners, Richard Martin, approached us to try to understand what our concerns were. And we explained to him there really is no plan for where business will grow. And he said, well, it'll be in the BUA. We said, it doesn't say that. It says this is, and that there is no plan for the BUA yet. And we said, it doesn't say that, Richard. It says it is a comprehensive plan. And it really isn't, because it does not cover the BUA. And as I understand, the first thing that has to happen is you have to define exactly what is the BUA, what are its exact boundaries. So our primary concern is the lack of provision for job creation opportunities. Specifically, there is no provision at all for a major development. Should somebody want to come in and put in a car manufacturing plant or anything that requires a lot of land, the business industrial overlay that has been part of the present plan is gone out west of Ellettsville, where there is flat land. So that's our major concern. Some others are, the plan includes specifics that really shouldn't be in a plan but should be in the ordinances when those finally come about. The 15% max slope, I think, is a perfect example of saying there will be no development on any land with greater than 15% slope. As an earlier gentleman said, lots of other places manage to do that. We've been doing it for years with mitigating circumstances. It doesn't make sense to us now to say there will be none. And of course, there was an attempt on the 12/21 meeting to lower that to 12%. And I wouldn't be surprised if that comes up again during your considerations. If you do have that 15% max slope, you're going to make a lot of existing houses, farms, businesses legal but non-complying. And this means, according to your present rules, if they come forward and want to do anything different, they're going to have to get special permission from the BZA or a bunch more hoops in order to be able to build a deck, build a barn, put out a building on their property. We think that makes no sense at all. And so we would hope that if you keep the 15% max, and we hope you won't, but instead you will state something positive about we hope to avoid building on steep slopes as part of the plan, that you will grandfather existing developments, farms, et cetera, so that they don't have to go through the BZA or whatever other hoops there would have to be in order to be able to do anything different. We're concerned with the complexity of the plan, especially the quarter-quarter density-based zoning. I still don't think very many people understand it. I think it's going to be difficult for Mr. Wilson and his staff to implement. We think it would be a good idea if you, and I know money's tight, but hire a consultant to give you an assessment of it, a professional planner to give you an assessment of it, somebody who didn't write it or isn't going to have to live with it. We also think there needs to be a thorough explanation of exactly what's in it. We appreciate Mr. Wilson's, although interrupted presentation, but it didn't explain the subdividing part at all. And we think it's very difficult for anybody to read this and to divine exactly what's going on. So we hope you take those thoughts into consideration as you do this, and have your staff or Mr. Schilling and the other attorneys draft some alternate language for you when it's time. Thanks for listening.